He can make the lame walk. He can make the dumb talk. Open up the eyes of the blind. Let's all go down to the river. There's a man walking on water. Come along with me, for I want to see that man walking on the water. Jesus is the man at the river, and he's watching people see the way. He can make us go if you give him control. So get ready for the judgment day. Let's all go down to the river. There's a man walking on water. Come along with me, for I want to see the man walking on the water. He can raise the dead from the grave, change the water and turn it into wine. He can make the lame walk. He can make the dumb talk. Open up the eyes of the blind. Let's all go down to the river. There's a man walking on the water. Come along with me, for I want to see that man walking on the water. The sea walker, that blind man here, never lived man of Galilee. To see the soul savior, the one who died for me. Take my hand and follow me. Let's all go down to the river. There's a man walking on the water. Come along with me, for I want to see that man walking on the water. Come along with me, for I want to see that man walking on the water.
Can't sing, Jay. I can't sing. She early in the morning. I can't honestly sing. You know, those are songs we haven't sung. We don't sing those hardly anymore, but they're still great songs. I love them. They're part of my birthing in the Lord, and I just love them. I think it's great. Are you looking after me? I can't open it. You know that. I tell you what, God's doing a work, and it's awesome. Yesterday, Johnny was at work, and I knew the guys were at Chrysalis, and I started writing letters, and wow. You know, it's like when you get with God. If I can teach the church to get with God by yourself, just sometimes, you know, it's such a sweet place to be in God, because we're so busy in our lives. And that's why I say in the Sunday school this morning, we're really not that busy. We just let things take our lives and make them busy. You know, Facebook and whatever, the media world we got. And we don't hardly ever hear anything good on the news. But I heard something good, you know, this week about some things that a guy had walked to work, Steve. He works for a moving company. I just caught a glimpse of it, so it may not be exactly right, but this is June's version of it. He walked, he's a young man, and he couldn't get to work, and he walked like 20 miles. Not to his job, but where he was supposed to be helping the people move. And they were so touched. I could see when they interviewed her that they were so touched. They told their bosses. And he got a new car. And it was so awesome. We heard something good on the news. People are still good, y'all. They just like to, they wouldn't have a job if they didn't, since, I know there's bad stuff in the world. There's always been bad stuff in the world. Even back when Jesus was walking on this earth, there was bad stuff in the world. But we hear so much of it now, we're beginning to believe that God can't take care of it. And that's just a lie. And I just was so praising God that I heard something good on the news. And that little guy was so dumbfounded and so humble. I mean, he just couldn't believe it. He was just trying to do the right thing. And I'm sure keep his job, but I believe he was the type of person that just wanted to do the right thing. That's all God wants us to do. That's all righteousness is doing the right thing. You know, and I get so tired of the news. But I got with God yesterday. Oh my God. Woo. I'm telling you, I was happy about Lily Jane. I've known her 40 years. She's been my buddy. She's been a sidekick. And I was so happy about that. But there's so much in the world, or just in this church. Just think about this church right now. There's so much going on. We had something go wrong every day. I was training somebody, and the computers were down 4 days. Wow. 4 days. And I'm supposed to be training somebody on the computer. And Johnny stuck on the road in the heat, 5 hours, probably less than 30 minutes away from his job. Nobody could come get him. You know, and you're like, okay, Lord, what are we doing here? I do. I question God. He's my God, and he's my friend. And if I can't talk to him, who in the world am I going to talk to? I know I can talk to Johnny. I know I can talk to Carol. But he is the one that's the fixer. And I talked to him. And for over an hour, I was going around my table just praising God. Just praising God through the storms, through the hells that we've been through the stuff that I know Living Garrett is going through the stuff, you know, all this stuff. I came home Wednesday and all these youth were cleaning our yard. And I'm like, and Steve, he's not youth, but Steve's out there sweating it. He's on the lawnmower and he's sweating it. He's sweating it, buddy. He's sweating. It's hot. It was hot. And I go out there and the other ones are in the pool, Steve. They're just chilling. but they had been working very hard. And I said, what y'all doing in that pool? You know, I knew what they're doing because I've worked in that yard. I know how big that yard is. And I know how hard it is. But I thank God that he sent someone to come and do that for us. But even with that going on, there was still so much junk. And I got in my dining room, and I wish I'd have had my Fitbit on, because I'd have loved to know how many steps I'd have made. You know, because I was in there and I was praising the Lord, and I saw this picture. I saw this picture of me and Johnny on the wall. I don't know if y'all ever noticed it coming up the steps. If you don't, you can check it out on SC9. Coming up the steps, and I'm sitting here with we were at an old house that one of our friends had got us after Bill Harper had passed away. He got me and Jim and Doris and Teresa. Who else was with us? Anyway, the ones that had caregiven Bill. And anyway, they had some props at that old house. You know, they had the little bonnet, little roller pin, and then they had a farmer's hat. And me and Johnny put those on, and I did like that. And Jimmy caught that picture, and we're both laughing at each other. And Johnny's on another one. Johnny's sitting on a, what is that thing? A rake, a farm rake that you used to have to do hay, I guess, with. And he's sitting on that big old smile of his. And I said, God, you put that smile back on his face. You put that smile back on his face. I refuse for him not to have that smile back on his face. And you know, I had to laugh because I said, I saw him this morning and I was telling him about the prayer time that I had. And I told him, I said, go look at that picture. Go, you remember that picture? And he went and looked at it. He come back and I said, made me think of it when you smiled and didn't have no teeth up here. And I said, God, put those teeth back in his mouth too. But me and the Lord were having a good time, y'all. And I claim healing for every one of y'all. I claim no depression in the house, no depression in the church, no depression cannot take us, cannot take us. Hallelujah. And I just wanted y'all to know that every one of y'all were in my prayers. And I know God moved because I was sitting there talking to Carol Nelson last night. And I told her that I actually purged the grief that I had from Daddy. And I cried. I told God, I said, I think he's been gone 32 years, whatever, 86, how many years that would be, a long time. And because I love him so much, Rica, I didn't even want to let the grief go that much. And I told him, I said, if I have to see him like I did when I found him, Steve, I want to let it go. And you know what he did? He made me cry. That pain. I don't know if you've ever heard anybody in a deep pain, but it comes from right here. I didn't see it, Carol, but I heard that cry. And for an hour, I cried like that and let go. Man, and I told Johnny, I apologize to Johnny because, you know, if you've been married, I don't know, if people that's been married before, sometimes you remarry, and the one you remarry gets some of the stuff from the first marriage. And I apologize to him that he took a lot. He took a lot. He took a whole lot that wasn't his. And I was able to apologize to him. I'm good to him. But there's been times that like when I hit him in the back with my ring and knocked the breath out of him. I don't know if y'all heard that story or not, but he likes to tell it. I told him that wasn't, I knew, Rica in my heart, that wasn't for him. That was for the anger and the grief that I was holding on. But yesterday, God, let it completely go. I think that deserves to be picked. So my God is real. Thank you. My God is alive, and he's well. And Owen, he's still doing good things. He's a good God. He's not a God of judgment. He'll correct you, but he'll pour the oil right in there. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Johnny brought correction to the church. But if you watch Johnny, he was pouring that oil right back in there because that's God's way. But he let me release that. Release the things that you're holding on, the hurts. We can't do the work that God wants us to do, Lacey, Taylor, Sherrod, we can't do the work that God's called this church to do with those hurts. We're going to take those hurts and we're going to make them stepping stones for people to be able to come out of hell. I don't believe God's sending you to hell. I believe he's saving us out of hell. He did that on the cross. If man's had it wrong all this time. They keep wanting to put people in hell that they think they're better than they are. Because if you think you're better than somebody else, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. He's bringing us out of the mud and the muck and the dust that we can be on the step coming, pulling them up, snatching them out of hell, the scriptures say, despising the smell of their flesh, the smoke on their bodies. Hello, you been in hell before? Are you in hell today? I got a God that can get you out. Hallelujah. yesterday, getting all that junk off of me. You know what, God? T.D. Jakes wrote a book. I believe it's Woman Thou Art Loose because I've read all of his. But he talks about toting a dead man on your back. They used to, back in the old days, of medieval days, I guess, if you kill somebody, they put that dead man on your back and it'd rot and it'd kill you. And I was toting a dead man on my back. And I knew that, but I felt like I deserved it. You ever felt like you deserved it? You ain't good enough? Well, that's just a lie from hell. Because God, on the cross, He did it all. We just got to realize it, get out there and tell people about it. That's what this church is doing. I'm telling you, we're raising disciples. We're not trying to count numbers in a church and see how many souls we can save, because He done saved the souls. We're trying to grow disciples. Hallelujah. Check out all the disciples, see how many of them were perfect. Hallelujah.